Stop everything. Right now. Because what I'm about to reveal in the next 15 minutes could save you from making a decision that would destroy the next year of your life. Tomorrow. At exactly 2 p.m. Your phone is going to ring. A call is coming. And every fiber of your being will want to answer it. You'll see the name or number flash across your screen, and curiosity, obligation, or longing will tell you to pick up. But I'm here with a divine warning: don't answer that call. Not immediately. Not impulsively. Not without understanding who's really on the other end and what they're actually calling for. Because the person calling you at 2 p.m. tomorrow is not who they claim to be. Their stated reason for calling is not their real reason. And what feels like an innocent conversation will actually be a trap, a carefully designed setup to pull you back into something you escaped, to manipulate you into something that harms you, or to extract something from you that you shouldn't give. By the end of this message, you will discover that the person calling you at 2 p.m. tomorrow is your identity will be revealed at the perfect moment. And when you understand who they really are and what they really want, that call you almost answered will be recognized for what it truly is: a spiritual attack disguised as human communication. Right now, you might be thinking, how do you know someone will call me at 2 p.m.? Because the spiritual realm operates on patterns. Divine warnings come before divine appointments. And just as God orchestrates calls that bless you, He also warns you about calls that curse you. This message found you at this exact moment because tomorrow's call is significant enough that heaven wants you prepared, protected, and positioned to make the right choice. Before we expose who's calling and what you must do 3 things immediately. Like this video right now to activate divine discernment over tomorrow's communication. Subscribe and turn on notifications because what happens after you don't answer requires continued guidance. Type "I won't answer" in the comments, declare your commitment to wisdom over impulse. Stay until the final second because after the reveal, I will direct you to a second video. The call you didn't answer saved your life. Here's what happened next. You need to understand the full consequences of both answering and not answering. Section 1. The pattern you've been ignoring. Let me describe what's been happening leading up to tomorrow's 2 p.m. call, and you tell me if this feels disturbingly familiar. The setup period. In the last 7 to 14 days, this person has been appearing in your thoughts more frequently than usual. Showing up in your dreams sometimes peacefully, sometimes disturbingly. Crossing your social media, their posts appearing, mutual friends mentioning them. Being referenced in conversations, remember when you end, name. Creating an unexplainable sense that they're about to reach out. These weren't coincidences. These were pre-signals. The spiritual equivalent of storm warnings before the actual storm hits. Your intuition has been trying to prepare you. The recent silence. Strangely, if this person has been in periodic contact with you, they've recently gone quiet, maybe 5 to 10 days of unusual silence. No texts. No likes on your posts. No casual check-ins. This silence was strategic. They were creating space so that tomorrow's call feels more significant, more urgent, more it must be important if they're calling after being quiet. The Quran teaches in Surah Al-Baqarah, Satan threatens you with poverty and orders you to immorality, while Allah promises you forgiveness from Him and bounty. The enemy uses silence strategically, to make you anxious, to make you curious, to make you more likely to respond when contact finally comes. The emotional trigger. You've also been in a specific emotional state lately. Either really good and vulnerable to sabotage or really low and vulnerable to manipulation. Making progress on something and about to be distracted. Feeling lonely or disconnected and vulnerable to false connection. Questioning a recent decision and vulnerable to being talked out of it. This person, consciously or unconsciously being used by the enemy, has been monitoring you through social media, mutual contacts, or spiritual sensitivity. They know your current state. And tomorrow at 2 p.m., they're calling at the exact moment when you're most vulnerable to whatever they're about to offer or demand. The urgency you'll feel. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., when that call comes, You're going to feel unusual urgency to answer. What if it's an emergency? What if they finally want to apologize? What if it's the closure I've been needing? What if they're in trouble and need me? What if this is my chance to fix things? That urgency is not intuition. That's manipulation, either emotional manipulation this person has trained you to feel, or spiritual manipulation where the enemy amplifies your curiosity, guilt, or hope to ensure you pick up. The time significance. 2 p.m. is not random. In numerology, 2 represents division, duality, and decision. It's the number of choice. Will you go one way or another? This call at 2 p.m. is designed to divide your day, divide your peace, divide your focus, and force a decision you're not ready to make. Additionally, 2 p.m. is midday, after morning momentum but before evening wind down. It's a vulnerable time where you're likely to be distracted, busy, or tired enough that your discernment isn't sharp. They're not calling at 8 a.m. when you're fresh or 9 p.m. when you're winding down. They're calling at 2 p.m. when you're most likely to answer on autopilot. If you've been sensing this call coming, type "I felt it coming" in the comments. Section 2, WHO's calling and why. Now let me reveal who's on the other end of tomorrow's 2 p.m. call and what they really want. Caller number 1, your ex who wants to re-traumatize you. Not any ex, the toxic one. The one you finally got free from. The one who broke you. The one you've been healing from. They're calling because they sensed your healing and they need to pull you back into chaos. They saw you moving on new pictures, new energy on social media, and their ego can't handle it. Their current situation is failing and they want you as backup option. They're bored or lonely and you're a familiar supply for their emotional needs. They want to test if they still have power over you. What they'll say: I've been thinking about us. I miss you. I made mistakes. Can we talk? What they really mean: I need to see if I can still control you. I need to interrupt your healing. I need to remind you that I exist so you can't fully move on. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught, the believer is not stung from the same hole twice. Answering this call is returning to the hole that stung you before. Caller number 2, your fake friend WHO needs something. The friend who only calls when they need something: money, favor, emotional support, connection to someone you know. They've been absent during your struggles, but now they're calling because they need what you have: resource, connection, position. They heard you're doing well and want access to your success. They want information they'll use against you or share with others. They need you to co-sign literally or figuratively their dysfunction. They want to use you to make someone else jealous or to look important. What they'll say: I've been meaning to call. How are you? I miss our friendship. What they really mean: I've ignored you until I needed something. Now I'm calling with fake warmth to manipulate you into giving it to me. Caller number 3, your family member with a manipulation agenda. A parent, sibling, or relative who uses family obligation to control you. They're calling to guilt you about a choice you made that they didn't approve. Pressure you to come to something, do something, or give something. Triangulate, tell you what another family member supposedly said about you. Extract information they'll share with the family gossip network. Undermine a boundary you've recently set. What they'll say: we need to talk. The family is concerned about you. Are you okay? What they really mean: you've been making choices without our approval. We're calling to remind you that you owe us obedience, access, and compliance. Caller number 4, your enemy in disguise. Someone who hurt you, betrayed you, or sabotaged you, now calling under the guise of reconciliation, apology, or closure. They're calling because they need to know what you know about their betrayal. They want to control the narrative before you tell your version. They're gathering information for their next attack. They want to gaslight you into thinking the betrayal wasn't that bad. They need you to forgive publicly so they look good to others. What they'll say: I think we should clear the air. I hate how things ended. Can we talk about what happened? What they really mean: I need to manage the damage of what I did to you. This call is about my reputation, not your healing. Caller number 5, the opportunity that's actually a trap. Someone offering you something that sounds too good: a job, investment, partnership, connection. They're calling at 2 p.m. specifically because they need your answer quickly, no time for research or prayer. They know you're financially stressed or opportunity hungry. They're selling you a dream that's actually a nightmare. They need you to commit before you discover the red flags. You're not the first person they've called, others already said no. What they'll say: I have an incredible opportunity for you. But I need to know soon. This is time sensitive. What they really mean: I'm about to scam you, exploit you, or waste your time and money. I'm creating false urgency so you don't think clearly. If you recognize who your caller is, type "I know who it is" in the comments, but don't name them publicly. Section 3. What happens if you answer? Now let me show you exactly what happens if you answer that 2 p.m. call tomorrow. Understanding the consequences will strengthen your resolve not to pick up. Consequence number 1: immediate boundary violation. The moment you answer, they've already won something: access. You've signaled that you're available to them, that boundaries you may have set can be crossed, that your no isn't final. This emboldens them to call again later. Text after the call. Push further in future requests. Tell others you're back in touch. Even if the call itself seems harmless, answering creates a precedent that's hard to undo. Consequence number 2: emotional regression. Within minutes of conversation, you'll feel yourself regressing. Old patterns of communication re-emerge. You find yourself explaining or defending things you don't owe explanations for. Emotions you've processed start resurfacing. Progress you've made feels threatened. You hang up feeling worse than before the call. The Quran warns in Surah Al-Baqarah, "And when it is said to them, 'Do not cause corruption on the earth,' they say, 'We are but reformers.' Unquestionably, it is they who are the corruptors, but they perceive it not. Some people bring corruption disguised as reform. This call brings regression disguised as reconnection." Consequence number 3: the commitment trap. During the call, they'll ask you to commit to something. Meeting in person. Having another call later. Doing them a favor. Keeping information confidential. Giving them one more chance. In the moment, saying yes feels easier than creating conflict. But that commitment becomes a foot in the door for more requests. Something they hold you to later. Evidence they use to claim you agreed to things you didn't fully agree to. Consequence number 4: information extraction. They'll ask questions disguised as caring. How are you really doing? Are you seeing anyone? How's your job/business/project going? What are your plans for upcoming event? You'll answer because it feels like normal conversation. But everything you share becomes intelligence they use to manipulate you later. Information they share with others. Details they use to gauge your vulnerabilities. Data that informs their next strategic move against you. Consequence number 5: the peace theft. After the call ends, you'll experience inability to focus on what you were doing before. Replaying the conversation obsessively. Questioning if you handled it right. Feeling guilty, confused, angry, or sad. Disturbed sleep that night. Distraction from your actual priorities for days. That stolen peace is the real cost. The call itself might only last 10 to 20 minutes, but the emotional and spiritual aftermath costs you days or weeks of momentum. Consequence number 6: the domino effect. One answered call leads to more calls. Text messages. Social media interaction resuming. running into them coincidentally, being pulled back into a dynamic you escaped, undoing months or years of healing. The Quran teaches in Surah Al-Ma'idah, "O you who have believed, do not violate the rights of Allah or the sanctity of the sacred month. Your healing journey is sacred. Your boundaries are sacred. Answering this call violates the sanctity of your recovery." If you're now certain you won't answer, type "I'm protecting my peace" in the comments. Section 4, What to do instead. Now let me give you the exact protocol for tomorrow at 2 p.m. What to do instead of answering. Step 1, expect the call. At 1:55 p.m. tomorrow, prepare mentally and spiritually. A call is likely to come at 2 p.m. I will not answer it. My silence is my boundary. My unavailability is my protection. Having decided in advance makes it easier to execute in the moment when emotion and curiosity try to override wisdom. Step 2, silence your phone or put it away. At 2 p.m., either put your phone on silent and face down. Leave your phone in another room. Be in a meeting/activity where answering isn't possible. Turn off your phone completely if you're bold enough. Don't watch it ring. Don't stare at the screen. Don't torture yourself with "should I or shouldn't I?" Make it easy on yourself by making answering difficult. Step 3, let it go to voicemail. They'll likely leave a message. Don't listen to it immediately. Wait at least 2 to 3 hours, ideally until the next day. Why? Immediate listening triggers emotional response. You need space to process without reacting. Their voice can be manipulative even in voicemail. You want to approach the message from a position of strength, not vulnerability. Step 4, assess the message strategically. When you do listen hours or a day later, ask these questions. Is there actual urgency? Real emergency or manufactured crisis? Is this about them or about me? Are they asking for something or genuinely checking on you? Does this violate boundaries I've set? Did I already say don't contact me and they're ignoring it? What's my gut saying? Peace or danger? Clarity or confusion? Would responding honor God? Is this wisdom or compromise? Step 5, decide your response or non-response. Based on your assessment, you have 3 options. Option A, no response at all. If the call was from toxic ex you've cut off, manipulative family member you've distanced from, friend who only takes and never gives, enemy disguised as reconciler, obvious scam or trap. Response, complete silence. No text. No callback. Nothing. Your silence speaks volumes. It says, I don't owe you access. I don't owe you explanation. I'm not available for this dynamic anymore. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught, whoever believes in Allah and the last day should speak good or remain silent. Sometimes silence is the most righteous response. Option B, brief text response, not a callback. If the voicemail contained a question you can answer briefly in writing, a reasonable request you can decline in text, information you need to acknowledge. Response, got your message. Brief answer/decline/acknowledgement. Take care. Keep it short. Don't explain. Don't justify. Don't open dialogue. Text gives you control that a phone call doesn't. You can craft your words carefully, you're not subjected to their voice or manipulation tactics, and you can end the exchange when you choose. Option C, conditional engagement. If the message was a genuine apology with no request attached, important information about a shared responsibility, co-parenting, shared property, etc., from someone you're in healthy process of reconciliation with. Response, call back at your convenience, not immediately, with clear boundaries. I can talk for 10 minutes. After that, I need to go. Set a timer. Honor your limit. But be honest, most 2 p.m. calls fall into option A, no response. Very few deserve option C. Step 6, pray after the decision. Whether you responded or didn't, pray. Allah, I trust that my decision today protected something you're building in me. If I handle this correctly, give me peace. If I missed something, show me. But don't let guilt or second guessing undermine the boundary I just maintained. Then release it. Don't obsess over whether you should have answered. Trust that your prepared, prayerful decision was the right one. Step 7. Block if necessary. If this person calls repeatedly after you don't answer the first time, leaves a manipulative or guilt-tripping voicemail, starts texting when you don't answer, uses other people to reach you, block them. Not out of hatred, but out of protection. Blocking isn't mean, it's wise. It says, I'm not available for this energy. I'm protecting my peace. Type I'll follow the protocol in the comments if you're committing to this plan. Closing bridge. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., your phone will ring. Someone you know, someone from your past, someone with an agenda will call. And you now know, don't answer it. Not impulsively. Not out of curiosity. Not out of guilt or obligation. Your unanswered call is not rudeness, it's wisdom. Your silence is not coldness, it's self-protection. Your unavailability is not cruelty, it's boundary maintenance. You don't owe everyone access. You don't owe everyone your time. You don't owe everyone explanation. But here's what you need to understand, the temptation to answer will be strong. At 2 p.m. tomorrow, every excuse to pick up will flood your mind. What if they've changed? What if I'm being unfair? What if this is God giving us another chance? What if I regret not answering? These are lies designed to make you violate your own wisdom. There's a second video on my channel you must watch tonight, The Call You Didn't Answer Saved Your Life. Here's what happened next. In it, I reveal testimonies of people who didn't answer similar calls and the disaster they avoided, plus those who did answer and the consequences they faced. Click my channel right now. Find that video. Watch it before tomorrow so you have real-life confirmation that not answering is the right choice. Final instructions. At 1:55 p.m. tomorrow, put your phone on silent or in another room. At 2 p.m., be in an activity that makes answering impossible. At 2:01 p.m., if you didn't answer, breathe and thank God for your obedience. At 2:02 p.m., don't immediately check voicemail, wait hours or a day. Later that day, follow the protocol for assessing and potentially responding. Final engagement. Type Amen if you believe unanswered calls sometimes save your life. Subscribe for continued wisdom on boundaries and discernment. Share this with someone who needs permission to not answer certain calls. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., you have a choice, answer and potentially destroy your peace, or don't answer and protect what God has been building in you. The call will come. The temptation will be real. But your boundary will be stronger. Don't answer. Your future self will thank you. Go watch that second video now. Your preparation depends on it. And, 1500 hours. Type I won't answer and watch the second video now.